I. Let's go with I and J, and we're going to wrap up. All right. I is information is king. Information is king. The more you know, the easier it is to be competitive. Information is king. The more you know, the easier it is to be competitive. Now, let me say this to you. I always remember this, guys. Education is subject specific. So what that means is this. A lawyer doesn't know all the laws by heart, but he knows what book to go to or what law to pull on to win this particular case. So a doctor may not know all the, diseases or whatever, but if you come in with a certain amount of symptoms, he's going to go to the PDR, the physician's desk reference, and look it up. Education is subject specific. So you don't have to know all the facts about everything, but you want to become a really good reference for where to get certain answers from. And you can't be the person who, you ever met a guy, man, or a young lady who just think they know everything? You ask them something, and instead of just, referring you to a great mechanic, they tell you they can fix the car. Oh, man, don't worry about that. Give me a couple of dollars, man. I know everything about the car. No, you don't. Education is subject specific. Just because you're an attorney, it doesn't mean you know anything about the advantages of a home-based business. Just because you're a business owner doesn't mean you know anything about law school. Just because you're a doctor don't mean you can bake a cake. And just because you're a chef don't mean you can take out my liver. You see, do a liver transplant. So information is king. But here's the key. You have to know where to get the information you don't have. You need to become what's called an excellent reference and get the information, be able to get information from somewhere. So remember, education is subject specific, guys. I'll give you guys a quick story. A friend of my mother's is a very, very wealthy attorney. I mean, extremely wealthy, like swimming pool inside his house and outside. It has a tunnel where he comes down his bedroom, down like a little pole into an indoor pool, and it goes out to an outdoor pool through the house. Like, this is how wealthy he is. His tennis court seats 150 people indoors. His tennis court seats 150 people indoors. You can watch him and his son play tennis inside. The house is, I think, 17,000 square feet. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And look, this was in the 70s. Y'all hear what I'm saying? He had this house in the 70s. So you can just imagine he had millions back then. Yeah, damn. Okay. I got video of this. I'm telling you, I've been there. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I saw. I got video of this. I'm going to dig it up one day. He told me not to do my business. Yep. Didn't believe in the model. Didn't think it would work. This doesn't make sense. And I told him, with all due respect, you are an attorney and you don't know anything about the business that I'm in. Now, I said that in the house that I was talking about. So it took some big kahunas to say that. But I was very, very young, but I just always believed that the person talking to you may be successful, but if they're not successful at what you are talking about, then you may need to talk to somebody that's successful at what you're talking about. You see, that's the important thing. So, and he's still my mentor. Don't get me wrong. And to his credit, I will say this. He was right. He was right about the business that I was in. I mean, it did not work, but the model and the education I got from that catapulted me where I am today. So shout out to him. He actually was right. But what I'm saying is that information didn't deflate me because I knew the type of business I was in, and I knew that he was not necessarily in the same business. Let me give y'all a great response when people say, we such and such did it and it didn't work. And such and such tried that and it didn't work. Watch this. And how long have you been getting advice from unsuccessful people? Think about that for a minute. And how long have you been getting advice from unsuccessful people? The next time somebody challenges your goal and dream and tell you that somebody else tried it and it didn't work, you look them dead in the eye and say, And how long have you been getting advice from unsuccessful people? All right, let's go to J. Justify business decisions with financial cost / benefit analysis. I kind of hit that earlier too, so I'm a little ahead of myself. Justify business decisions with financial cost benefit analysis. I'm telling you guys right now, man, if you make decisions emotionally, you always going to regret it in business. Because emotions are temporary, the decision you make a lot of times was only working for that moment, and you made a permanent mistake. You see, here's what I tell people, man. I never want you guys to forget this. This is a lot of the things I teach aren't just in business, but it's in life. If you ever get down on yourself and depressed and you feel like your self-esteem is low and things aren't going the right way, well, what you have to remember is that's a temporary state. So if that state is temporary, then the following emotions are also true and just around the corner. Happiness, joy, abundance. You know, the endorphins and things that you need to send yourself chemically only happen when you hold your chin up and hold your posture up. See, a lot of people don't realize this, but it's almost impossible to be in a depressed state of mind and have low self-confidence when your chin is high. Half of your life is structured around the way you carry yourself and your posture. The way you posture yourself will change how you feel. And when you change the way how you feel, you change how you act. So people miss that. But a temporary state of depression is only a chemical imbalance for a short period of time. You can flip that if you change your posture first, and in that temporary boost, if you will, of adrenaline, when those endorphins are kicking in and that dopamine is telling you to do exactly what you need to do, when you take action in that direction, then guess what? You take yourself out of an immediate funk. In other words, write this down. Taking action now brings satisfaction now. Taking action now brings satisfaction now. As a human being, you were born to grow and strive and struggle in order to survive. You're not put on this planet to sit dormant and do nothing and process everything in the world that's wrong with you. Because here's the reality. You're only where you are today because of some bad decisions you made yesterday. You aren't where you are today because of where you are today. You are where you are today because of some bad decisions you made yesterday. So that's the trick that people have to, that's what you got to learn right there. Your feeling right now is based on the old you. The new you is not in the situation you're in right now. The old you is. So the minute the old you realizes that you're old, the minute the new you realizes that your current state is a result of the past, which is when you were old, the new you will manifest a better you that you can look back on and say, I'm glad I met him. I'm going to say that again. The minute the current you realizes that the current you is in the place you're in because of what the old you did, the habits the old you had, the decisions the old you made, then the future you will look back on the current you and be glad you made the decision that you made. So that's why you always hear me say in a lot of my keynote addresses, there's only one tense, and that's the present. Do me a favor, man. Let me know before we go. We're going to stop at J today and we'll do KLMNO at another time. Let me know if you guys right now are creating, sustaining, or advancing in your life.